Okay. Hello, you guys. Hello, guys. If there's anyone new here, my name is Tumi. I make YouTube videos. I make YouTube videos about spirituality, womanhood, and poetry. If that sounds like something that you like, then please subscribe to my channel. And if you're not new here, hello. I am back. I am not dead. And I haven't given up on this channel. It's been a long time since I have spoken to you guys and since I've posted anything. Yeah, part of it just like because life has been lifing and I've gone through quite a spiritual transformation, and that has caused me to just kind of take a step back and really understand what this channel is for, what it's about. um because when I started this like at 16, I think 16, 15, I kind of wanted to be like maybe a lifestyle creator, or just I wanted to be like the YouTubers that I was watching, which was mostly vlogs, lifestyle. Obviously, because I was Christian and because spirituality is such an important part of my life, I did talk about God. I did talk about the the spiritual things that I did believe in, and the um the values that I uphold. I have since deleted some of the videos. I don't know if I've deleted all of them, but I've since deleted some of them. And the biggest reason for that is because I've gone through such a spiritual transformation, but also I think maybe being a 17, 16, 18-year-old, giving spiritual advice on the internet may have not been the best thing for me, because I would soon then low-key change a lot of what I've believed in. So yeah, so basically I've gone through quite a bit of a transformation. In 2023, obviously I went to university, and during university, close to the end of the year, okay, well, before that I had struggled through cycles of really being consistent in my journey with God, and then kind of giving up a little bit, or going through bouts of like burnout, and then going back and being really consistent, and then going through bouts of burnout. And so in 2023 I had, I guess what I call it, like a dark night of the soul. I committed kind of like a great sin, a non-negotiable sin for me, and that kind of sent me through a little bit of a psychosis, or like a dark night of the soul type of journey. um and as I was going through that, I went on a trip to Joburg for How to Life, where they had events in Joburg. um and I came back and I kind of thought, after this trip I'm just gonna really like hunker down and really commit to God and change my life and just really be serious about this. And that did work for a while, um until I kind of realized, like, I don't know, like, this doesn't seem as authentic as it used to be. To me, it doesn't really seem that authentic to me. I just couldn't commit. And for a while I kind of thought, it's my own humanity, it's my own sinfulness, um and just being stubborn and just not wanting to commit or anything like that. And for a long time through 2024 I beat myself up for it, until I kind of met someone, and meeting her kind of made me realize and come to terms with what led me to commit that sin, but also um, what led me to commit that sin, but also understanding the crazy, shaky foundation that I had built my faith on, and just how unhealthy it is. And also, it was the reason why I couldn't commit or be consistent in my journey with God, and why I actually didn't really have a healthy relationship with God to begin with. So that kind of set me on a little bit of a journey of, oh, meeting this girl kind of showed me that, showed me the ways that my self-hatred had played on other people and hurt other people, and how it had turned to legalism and actually pushed me farther away from God. Yeah, farther away from God, but also far away from people as well. um so meeting her was like, I don't know, a blessing and a yeah, just realizing how crazy that was. um yeah, realizing how crazy that was, and meeting her was like a blessing and a curse at the same time, because she definitely did kind of hurt me, but it was a blessing because I really saw how crazy it was to speak to me, to speak to myself in that way, to like just essentially call myself like sinful, that like I deserve hell, and I'm just like a disgusting human being, and I'm like beyond forgiveness, beyond grace for what I've done. It also just kind of made me make peace with the decisions that I made when I was younger, because obviously, I don't know, I'm not saying that like teenagers shouldn't become Christians, that they shouldn't be devoted to God, but I think it's very different, because when you're 13, 14, 15, 16, like when you're at those ages, not to say you don't have agency over your own mind and the choices that you make, you definitely do, but you're also still very young. You are going to make mistakes, stupid mistakes at that. And I'm not saying that like teenagers can't have testimonies or anything like that, but I think just that whole type of like mindset of like, oh, I was a horrible sinful person, and all of these things, and I deserved hell. It's like, okay, but how, like, what on earth did you do that was so wrong to, like, okay, like maybe you watch like porn or something when you were like 15, like everyone did that, not to say that that's okay, but everyone did that. You were curious about something, and obviously didn't have an outlet with your parents to talk about it or explore it in a way that was safe, so you took matters into your own hands, you know. A lot of the decisions that teenagers make are a product and an influence of their own environment. Not to say that they hold no responsibility for those things, they do, but I think it's very little responsibility, you know? Like, they are learning to be human beings, you know? And things like that, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. It's just making peace with myself back then, and just being like, okay, yeah, I did that, but I was like literally 16. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I didn't know better. I do now, and I will do better. But at the time, like, I did the best with what I was given, and I don't think that warrants hell for me. You know, like I don't think that warrants me hating myself. You know, um, yeah. So, okay, realizing those things, realizing that actually I don't hate myself, I don't think I'm sinful, I don't think I deserve hell, I don't think I'm this horrible, disgusting person. Now what? You know? And that kind of obviously caused me to kind of really want to learn about Christianity in a deep level, not just like focus on it's a relationship and things like that, but actually knowing the foundations and the structures of this religion that I say that I follow. Because I feel like this it's a relationship, not a religion thing kind of makes people complacent in learning the history of the religion and learning the political and historical things that the religion is built on, and that maybe still stands for to this day. So I really started to learn, and um, also accepting within myself that I am a feminine, mystical, reflective person, and that I wanted my relationship with God and my faith and the way that I practice to reflect and celebrate those things about myself, you know? So I started to really look at the left hand path when it comes to Christianity, learning about the apocryphal gospels, the gospel of Mary Magdalene, the gospel of Philip, learning about Lilith, and starting to also incorporate, or this started with incorporating Mother Mary as an actual deity and a goddess in my Christian practice. That kind of opened the doors for me, and discovering, okay, there's like angeliology and venerating saints and angels and things like that. And oh, there's actually Christo-paganism, and the, you know, there used to be different sects of Christianity. There used to be Gnosticism, and um, all these other things that were more spiritual and that actually aligned with who I am, and that fed this hunger of having an experiential, magical experience of God, you know, of divinity. And also just understanding that, okay, like the feminine is and can be and was incorporated and celebrated in Christianity. But as the world became more patriarchal, and when the globalization of Christianity called for it to become more rigid and more culturally acceptable, the feminine became more and more erased as time went on. Understanding those things and understanding what that meant for me definitely changed everything for me and brought me closer to God, actually. So, yeah, I think I will leave this conversation here. Um, this channel, I now steer it in a direction of heretical feminine Christianity, and I will be teaching more about that on the channel, and I'll be on this channel, and I'll be showing my practice more on this channel. So basically, this is kind of the direction that I'm going in. This is the direction that I'm moving into, and yeah, this is kind of like what I want to say right now. I will speak to you guys later, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.